So let's move on to the SEC championship game potentially being gone. I've seen so many great SEC championship matchups, and for it to just like be gone is like it would feel weird. It would just I don't know if it would like be bad for the sport, but I would definitely say it would be something to get used to. So Alabama AD Greg Byrne said, "I think the ship has sailed. It's run its course when asked about the possible change." So I think it's definitely something that's if they're going to go to 16 or 24, I feel like you had to take it away because why are we playing a game that doesn't really matter. Like Kirby Smart is also in favor if it expands to 16 or 24 because it's like why are we playing this game? Like it already is sort of meaningless. Like Alabama and Georgia played in the SEC championship this past year. Alabama lost, they got in. Georgia won, they got in. So like it's not really a point. And then like you would see teams like last year, Texas A&M didn't make it. You would see Oklahoma didn't make it. Ole Miss didn't make it, and they had the same record as Alabama, and they're basically resting. So it's no like thing for them like, okay, we don't even want to make it. And another thing is like, so if you look at the ACC championship last year, Virginia and Duke made their ACC championship. Both of them were just battling it out, and Miami didn't even make their conference championship game, and they rested, and they went all the way to the national championship because they didn't have to play an extra game. So it's really a rest factor because some teams will have to play and some teams don't. And then it's also like an injury factor. So if you're playing in all these high intense games, it's just more of a injury factor involved in it. But what do you think? I've talked a lot.
So I just want to bring in some stats, especially from the TV ratings for the past two SEC championships. So this past year, Georgia and Alabama brought in a total of 16.86 million views. And the year before that, when it was Georgia and Texas, it was 16.63 million views. And so I think a lot of this is financially, it's going to bring in a ton of revenue. And both years, it was the highest rated SEC game of the season, and it brings in about 50 million to the conference each year. So from that standpoint, I totally understand, you're bringing in the views, you're bringing in all this money from the game being played and people paying and traveling to watch it. And so from that, I understand it. And kind of like this can be an opinion question, but I wanted to ask you because I was wondering about this. Because some people actually say that they believe that the SEC championship is just for bragging rights. And like you were saying, some people didn't get into the championship, but then you see them in the college football playoffs. So, what do you believe in terms of is it for bragging rights or not?
I guess you could say it's for bragging rights, but let's look at this. So Georgia beat Alabama in the SEC championship. Georgia played Ole Miss, I would say, I think it was second round, second or first round. Georgia played Ole Miss, and Ole Miss beat Georgia. So Ole Miss goes farther than the SEC champ. So in that point, does it really matter? Like, did that extra game do anything for Georgia? So I would say yes. Like you're right about the revenue part and the TV ratings. That makes you think like if the wrong people are in charge, if all they care about is money, they're never going to get rid of it. They're gonna like that's why I'm like a 2014 playoff, but it's just going to keep bringing in more money, more money. That's why I just say you should get a commissioner that is just non-biased, nothing to do with the money. It's just in the best interest of the game and the players.
Absolutely. I agree with that. If it were, if you, let's say, like you were put in the position of being the commissioner, would you still have this championship game or would you do away with it?
I think I would do away with it, especially because the SEC is going to a 9 game conference schedule rather than 8. So you're already adding another extra competitive, like a high intense ball game. So like that 9 game conference schedule is going to be tough. This is the first year they're going to do it. So I don't even know what it's going to look like. And a team like Texas, they're playing Ohio State, so they really are playing like 10 straight SEC games. So it can definitely be tough on their bodies to play that high intensive a schedule, then turn around and play an SEC championship game. And then if you win or lose that, you got to play 4 more games in the playoffs. So it's really just like maybe all these extra games aren't needed, but if the wrong people are in charge, they're definitely gonna think of the money first.
Mhm. Definitely. I agree with you.